Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome back to Let's Play The Twisted Tales of Spike McFang. Took me a little while to get a whole bunch of stuff. I now have a bunch of magic spells in the form of cards. I have the Feather Hat, which, if I hold Y and throw it, you have a much better range. It moves back and forth as you throw forward, and it covers a good amount of the screen. I am also at level 7. I now have 112 HP, and I also farmed up to 999 gold, which is not an easy task, just by going through all the places in the castle that I had been to before, which wasn't much. I did most of my experience grinding and gold grinding with the feline fighters, so I managed to do that as quickly as I could. And I might as well just go ahead and mention the cards. I can just go through them with left L and R. The fire card. The forces of fire will be summoned. Basically, you can burn your enemies to death. You have a circle of fire circling you, and if any enemies touch it, they get burned. The ice card. Traps your enemies in blocks of ice. Stalagmites of ice will appear on the enemies and hit them. Lightning card. Bolts of lightning will strike your enemies. It basically strikes in an area around you, and if anything gets hit, it gets hit. The time card. The weak monsters will be frozen in time. This freezes all enemies that are not bosses for a short amount of time. Animal card. Turns certain enemies into stuffed animals. This only works on some enemies, not all of them. Angel card. A guardian angel will attack the monsters in the area. An angel will swarm an enemy and beat the crap out of it. Bat card. A group of bats will attack the monsters in the area. Circle of bats swarm an enemy, beats it up. Invisicard. You will become invisible for a while. This also gives you temporary invincibility. Kind of reminds me of the invisibility potions in Fester's Quest. Flying hat card. You can hide in your hat, making you invincible. You can still move around, but you can't hurt enemies. This is useful in case any enemies are giving you a hard time. Companion card. Your fellow fighters will gain extra power. In other words, they'll actually attack the enemies. I will go into companions when the time comes. Transport card. Returns you to Professor Steam. It takes you back to town. End card is empty file, which means you have nothing equipped. There is a small number, anywhere between 1 to 10, between the name of the card and the description of the card. This shows how many copies of the card you have. You can only have up to 10 of any given card, which also leads me to explaining the random card shop, the one where you can get the grab bag for 20 gold. You'll get a random card. Aside from a few, there's only 3 cards you can't get from this. There are the big tomato card and the tomato juice cards, which you can get in the shop. Those restore 16 and 80 HP respectively. And there's another card that I won't mention until a bit later in the game, like a good while later into the game. Other than that, other than those 3 cards, you can get the rest there. It is possible to spend 20 gold on a grab bag and not get anything. If that happens, you don't get your money back. This happens because more than likely you got a card that you have 10 of. You can only have up to 10 of any given card, and once you try to get more than that from the grab bag, the game does not let you. So, now that that is explained, I might as well mention something else. Believe it or not, this game is actually a sequel. In Japan, it's known as Ultra Demon World War Little Dorabo, aka Chomakai Taisen Dorabachan. And the first game was a side-scroller for the PC Engine, which never left Japan, called Makai Prince Dorabot-chan. I cannot say these names to save my life for some reason. Makai Prince Dorabot-chan. The game never left Japan. I don't know if I'll ever play the game. We'll have to wait and see. If I end up playing the game, trying it out for myself somehow and liking it, I may try it out. But I don't currently have plans to play it. Anyway, it's time to get back in the castle. I'm going to beat up some more... Hey. It's time to beat up some more zombies. Take their tomatoes for whatever reason. The tomatoes, both the small ones and the big ones, they don't give a whole lot. Like, the tomato cards heal more than the tomatoes you find from enemies do. I think you probably only get, what? Maybe 8 and 16 from... Oh dear. Yeah, the small tomatoes only restore 2 HP, and the large tomatoes only give you 4 HP, which really isn't a lot. Also, the coins that you get from enemies, those are also random pickups. That big coin I just managed to pick up right out of the blue, that gives you 50 gold. There are 3 kinds of coins, and they give only 3 kinds of currency. What you see is what you get. The small ones give 1, the medium-sized ones give 10, and the big ones give you 50. That's all you get for coins, and it makes looking for gold for the stores really, really hard. Well, I wouldn't say really, really hard, just harder than it should be. I am not exactly a fan of the currency in the game being a random pickup, and whatever you want to get being completely tied to RNG. Also, I forgot to show what is to the right of this door. It's just a flamethrower. It just hurts you. And now, we need to just do this. Carefully jump over everything. Ow. Did not mean to do that. And we might as... Do I need to go into this room? No, I don't. That's actually where I got my butt kicked by the, by that metal suit of armor. Anyway, this is a no turning back point, but thankfully, because we have 3 transport cards, we can go back to Professor Steam if we have one. And by jumping onto the springboard, we hit our head in the ceiling, we fall in the moat, and Sid, our pet, comically takes us over to the other side. Of course, once you end up on the other side, you can't go back to any of the previous areas, so you need to be careful. And we have more spikes. Definitely want to watch out for those. Got a 10 coin. Why am I running in the spikes? Come on. We need to go in here. And we should be running into some more... Ah, there's the more brown version of the... Killer Cloves. I forgot what the name of the enemy was for a moment. And those little gold things, if you are in front of them, arrows will shoot out of them. You obviously don't want to get hit by those. And now it's time for this thing, the Metal Muncher. You obviously want to avoid the rocket arms that this thing shoots at you. And you won't be able to hit it as long as the face is open, I think. Like, it has to be completely closed in order to be hit. And wow, I am doing really well on the gold today. So yeah. Keep a good distance. Use your hat if you have to. If the helmet is open, it is invulnerable until it is closed again. And yeah, this is the more brown version of the Killer Clove, which will spit smoke at you. No, sir, we do not want the smoke. And if I could hit this thing, this feline fighter, from a good distance, that would be great. There's nothing up here, as far as I can tell. You can't even jump up there. So we need to go further to the east. And we need to go up here. As you're about to see, this area is pretty long. And we are also on the wooden boards, the support beams that make up the top of the castle here. The spiders here only give you 1 HP, but they go down in one hit even if you are relatively weak at this point. Do these things even give me experience still? They still give me 1. I was under the impression after watching Coup Impact play through this game that experience does diminish and then stop entirely after you reach a certain level, but I don't think that's the case. At least not yet. Maybe I'm too far not overpowered enough yet for that to happen. Well, either way, we want to keep going west here and then eventually go down the stairs. And this door, it is locked. You won't be able to go through it. So we need to go up these stairs, and we need to start looking for the key, which, like before, is going to be one-time use only. So we just need to follow the path, and I really need to wait for the camera to center before I do anything, because this game does not do the best job of keeping up with Spike, as you can see. And I don't necessarily need to be doing this, but I might as well just attack all the spiders that I can. Every little bit of experience is going to help at this point. And here's a big spider. You want to stay away from the projectiles, and you want to hit this thing with your hat. Because I'm at level 7, taking this thing down is a snap. Whoops. There goes the key. Now we need to go all the way down there to get the key, which means we have to trek all the way back down to where the cloves and the feline fighters were just to get a key. Now, usually, if you're not as powered up as I am, I was expecting to be level 6 by the time I was recording this video, but I ended up being level 7 instead because of how I decided to do things. If you're not as powered up as I am, if you're not as leveled up as I am, the spider will definitely take more hits, and you'll be doing a lot more dodging and whatnot just to take it down. But the spider was a snap because I'm at level 6, level 7. The game really expects you to level up. When I did my Try It Out Tuesday run, I think I decided to see as much as I could of the game, didn't even try to level up at all. Matter of fact, I didn't even know that you had to. And because of that, I ended up being at the first big boss battle at only level 3 with only a couple of tomato juice cards, and I was just thoroughly stomped. And I only had 1 transport card as far as cards went, and that was it, because I didn't know much about the game at the time. Obviously, had to do a little bit of research, do some digging. There's the key. Let's go ahead and grab that. And thankfully, I'm a little more knowledgeable about the game now. So, now that that's over with, I'm going to open up a can of Arizona, well, not a can, rather a bottle of Arizona Green Tea. And then we're going to have to trek all our way back up the stairs. Which means we have to deal with, I think we have to, no we don't. We don't have to do all of that moving around on the building supports ever again. I still want to beat up the spiders. Definitely want to get that experience. Every little bit helps. Even though the spiders don't drop anything, which is a shame. I could be getting quite a bit more gold at this point, but I managed to pick up 2 or 3 big coins, which is actually quite alright, all things considered. Okay, we have the key. Does the game tell you if you have a key? It doesn't tell you have a key. You have to remember that you have to have a key, and that you do have it. And I can hear the metal enemy there, but we can just go up the stairs. And time for the no, not yet. Time to be reminded of Super Castlevania 4. Get out of here, you. Okay. We have 3 places where we can go south here. And 2 of them just take you right here. And Metal Muncher, you can actually hit it with both the hat and your spin attack. And if you combine both, you can, especially if you're at level 6 or 7 like I am, you can really tear this thing apart. And also get a lot more gold, too. I thought you 2 didn't come back. Well, whatever. You're extra experience for me. And we have yet another Metal Muncher? Okay, apparently it was to the east of us. Ow. Ow! And from here, we need to get moving again. See where we need to go. I believe if you keep going to the left, there's an arrow trap. There's this thing. You can't destroy it. But since we can go through this door, you might as well just go ahead and go through it anyway. Oh, okay, you didn't. I almost just used the spin attack that I didn't want to use to beat this guy up, and yeah. Sometimes you luck out with this thing, and sometimes you don't. But that's all that's in here. Let's go back. Let's stay away from the flamethrowers. Let's try not to get poked by any spikes or spears that come out of the wall here. Yeah, if you can jump past these things, you can do quite all right for yourself. And what is this? Well, I don't want to go through that yet. I want to see what more there is here. Still want to be careful, though. Oh. Well, there are buzzsaws here. And there is another door. Well, it's a good thing we went here because there's another key. Something tells me that we're going to need it in the area that I decided to back out of all of a sudden. So let's go back to the door that we backed out of. Shall we? I say as I try to concentrate and try not to get hit by anything. And, well, we've got quite a bit of things to hit here. Quite a few things to collect, too. Don't you dare set me on fire. Yeah, if you get hit by the fire, Spike does get roasted for a few seconds. You do get stunned. Not altogether fun. Ow. Also, I should mention that having the buzzsaws hit you is not a good idea. Because if the buzzsaws hit you, it will hurt. Anyway, we have these vents sucking us towards the wall, and we have these flamethrowers that we need to avoid too. This passage leads us into an air vent. And if I can keep jumping to the left, I should be able to make it over to here. Mother! So we now know what happened to our mother, the Queen of Dracuman Castle. She got imprisoned. Spike, is that you? Are you okay? Yes, I'm fine. Good. I'll get you out of here as soon as I take care of the creature that has taken over this castle. Be careful, son. She is a level 4 fighter and very athletic. But you know, I think that she would be a nice girl if she wasn't influenced by evil beings. Right. Thanks, Mom. Here's something to take with you, Spike. And we get a card of transport. So we get a transport card to add to the 3 that we already have. If you didn't buy anything from the grab bag, this is your introduction to it. With this card, you can return to Professor Steam if you're in trouble. Cool. And we also get healed up too, I think, which is interesting. Looked like it up there in the upper left-hand corner. Just barely caught that. And we need to jump to get out of this hole. Now it's time to get up the stairs. I know I'm going a bit over time, but I want to see how much longer we have. I don't think we have much longer as far as the geography of this place is concerned. There's nothing over there. We still have some more feline fighters. Might as well take care of them. And, well, we have no choice but to go west. Good thing that the path here is very linear. Oh, dear. Maybe it would be better if we go over here first. And not go too fast, so that way we don't get shredded. Okay. Let's jump over everything, see what there is to see around here. There's nothing. Why even have this? Let's go further to the west. And that is a spike there. There is a spear. And apparently we are forced to go in this direction. And we can save. You know what? This is a good place to end the video here. We might as well just go ahead and save. Now that we have a save point. And some progress made as well. Join me next time where we go even further into Castle Dracuman. And hopefully take on Felicia. Because she has... No. Felina. Don't know why I call her Felicia. Then again, both are cat women. We take on Felina. And hopefully save Dracuman Castle. Until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care, stay safe, and thanks for watching!